Which one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best? 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 What's the second best?
Welcome to Discover Therapy on the crypto markets. Once again, the market is bleeding heavily. The pain is real, and people in my office are cuddling their dogs and crying.
I need a support system. Oh,
it's a wild day out there, Kelly. I mean, I knew the chat was going to be hurt. You know what, you guys? I will absolutely recommend, before we get into the show, for the love of God, join the Discover Investments Group Discord. I made two 50-60% trades this morning. Kelly, I think you even got in on the action this morning, didn't you?
Hopped in as soon as the trade printed, and then I didn't do the entire trade for all the take profit and stop losses because I was going in and out of stuff. But I was in 15 minutes, made $100, and it was great. But you know what? I think a lot of people are struggling right now, because there is some of that bullishness that people were talking about in the charts, and it's just not playing out, So like the feeling right here is really, I did some dissection here, and I got x-rays, and it turns out that riding the bull lately has really been causing a lot of injury to the pockets right here. But you know what? I think we just need to break down the charts and see what's in the news.
Absolutely.
There's some things to explain here.
Absolutely. Make sure you follow me on X here at Druth Crypto. Let's check it out. The old Bitcoin chart. God, I got to flip this upside down once again. We are at $86,000 as of today. Looking a little bit grim, but you know what? I know how to fix this. You just invert it. Okay. It's clear.
Blow off top. Let's go.
Well, we're on our way up, right? We invert this. Today's trades were indeed shorts once again, and the crypto market cap is now below $3 trillion. We have erased over $1 trillion in a very short amount of time. Kelly had a great highlight on yesterday's show talking about the velocity of this pullback being stronger than things we've seen in the past for sure. And I did find it kind of interesting, Kel, that this is a 32% pullback. The previous one was also 31%. This is the kind of inauguration and then trade war crash out. Then
yeah, but this one happened in 45 days.
Right. Very, very short amount of time. Like from recent Pico top to where we're at now. This one was also 30% though. So, but this one took a lot longer to get to. It was like 32, 31%. So all of these pullbacks are pretty symmetrical in terms of percentages down. Serenity now. Serenity now. Oh,
Serenity
Lord.
Now. What is going on with the damn keep taking me off?
You're glitching, bro. The lords of the internet don't want you in there. So this is kind of crazy to see. If we are at 32%, now 32% pullback. Deep below that 300 SMA. That's why a lot of the trades you're seeing right now are shorts. And it's kind of crazy when you look at the stats on short-term holder supply in profit or in loss. This ratio here, this is Quentin put this up. Short-term holders that were underwater during the COVID crash were only at 92% that were at a loss when Bitcoin is at $3,800. 2022, the FTX collapse, 94% are in a loss at that time frame when it was at 16K. Now today with Bitcoin, but what is it, at 100% loss ratio or something? Because this is a 99% in a loss at $89,000. And now we're sitting at $86,000 instead. Kelly, for the love of God, what in the like? So I kind of feel a little insane that to be in profit through this time frame is kind of insane to feel like this. But what would you say? Do you have any further words on why short-term holders are getting so bludgeoned? Are they going to leave forever? Like, what do you make of what Quentin just highlighted there? Because that's kind of crazy to think about.
I think we're in the cycle of broken expectations. Well, you know, everybody was expecting they understood the roadmap, and we're getting the ping ponging of the geopolitical shuffle, the stress on banks, the government shutdown, the fake reopening that's only temporary, and that's why when you look at stuff on the charts, I don't know what's going on with there we go. That we're kind of look at the capitulation metric we're seeing here, which is far outweighing what we've seen in previous bottoms before continuing higher. The issue right now is people are starting to capitulate into, I think the bear market is really here. And I would just say, I don't want to say I advise, but I would just say the worst times in history, even in a bear market, is to sell at peak fear. Right now, peak fear here launched higher, peak fear here launched higher. We're at the worst reading on the fear and greed index that we've seen this entire bull market. So even if we are going to go into, and I don't think we're going to go into 6 months or a year bear market, let's say 1 quarter, some softness, the bears kind of taking control, we're still going to get some sort of relief bounce that comes up, much like we saw here, which was 34,000. I don't know what's going on. You take over.
Oh, is it killing you again? Well, I'll pull up my fear and greed thing. I'll pull up my fear and greed thing here for you. It's zapping you out for some reason. Let's go look at this though. The fear and greed has been in extreme fear for a little bit of time. Pretty disgusting. Kind of scary when you think about the new participants that have come in. They wanted to get a part of the Bitcoin cheese. We're above 100K. Things are looking pretty good, right? Now, we've been in extreme fear for, I would say, not too long. Like if you notice the trade crash out where we dropped to 75K, we had a double bottom moment in the extreme fear zone right there. So I don't think beatings are quite ready to stop. This is a perfect write-up from Ramp Capital. Open the market. Good. Fill the gap. Make Nvidia go negative on the day. Ramp post crying Northwestern kid. Okay, pump it a little bit. Good. Let them think that the bubble hasn't popped yet. Now tank it at close. Okay, release the files. Just absolute cinema is going on right now. This actually makes me want to go look at the Nvidia chart as well, because most of the stock market basically relies on Nvidia to keep being up. Let's pull this up here. So not too bad. Not too bad. Tis but a scratch. But we opened at this high. You highlighted it on our morning trading show, which made it really weird to short the market at that time, right? Because you pulled it up and you're like, whoa, we had gapped up. And then our trading signals to come short hit the Discord, and we're like, all right, you know what I mean? We shorted them, ended up printing, and this thing is completely
Drew, I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Because sometimes in these markets, things change like that. I went to Whataburger to get a burger and took my dog out for a walk. And today we opened the market with a gap up. So S&P 500 opened with a gap up today. I don't know. Let me see. Right in here. Yeah, we opened with up here. So this is where the previous day closed. We opened up here, felt good. Did some other tweet come out from Trump? Is there anything that sort of rugged any sort of near-term bullishness in terms of the day?
Not really. No, not really. And that's why, like, the overall, if we should back up way good on this. So you're on the daily. Let's just take a big gander there. SPX has been going vertical for quite some time. Now, usually you can highlight a bear market beginning. I think it's a 20% pullback on the S&P 500. What is the pullback from that peak to where we're at right now on the S&P?
5%.
This is a scratch. So, not necessarily a signal that we're going into a hardcore bear market. But, you know, I think the line in the sand, particularly for our bags in Bitcoin, I agree with someone in the chat there talking about 70K. Now, there are some theories here, some Drew theories that I got swimming around in my brain, where essentially I think 70K is going to be that line in the sand we actually are able to defend in this overall drawdown. And yeah, I do agree with Crank that there's going to be some short squeezes, and then we eventually do the vibe check there. But the thing I think is going to be different from other 4-year cycles, and I'm going to do the little hands for the rest of my life on it because they seem to be completely broken, is that the downtrend that I think we're about to experience here, I think a fake out, bam, just chunk down, vibe check. I think this is going to be a shorter lived bear market pullback than we've ever seen. And I think it's going to be a shallower pullback for Bitcoin than we've ever seen. And I've always said it. I've said this for a long time that I thought it was going to be about 50%. Well, Lord, love a duck.
So you're saying shorter time duration and less of a fall. So rather than 1 year, 70 to 80%, something like a quarter or two, maybe 40 to 55%.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that that's a big, big difference in where we're heading. The crazy part about it is the sentiment is so bad and people are going to try to mirror this last cycle. I'll delete this stupid fib because I only pulled these up to crash out on Fibonacci's this morning. Is that this was a much longer time frame you spent in a bear market, right? In the 2019, 2020 zone. And then our bear market here from the 2022 to 23 time frame really was quite a long time as well. I mean, this, once we really started breaking down, lasted for 574 days. So how these things look right now, I feel like end to Q1, maybe beginning of Q2 is where we really, really start to reclaim those recent highs. And essentially, like, I think it's going to be a pretty short-lived snap crash, vibe check at 70K, massive interest will come back in, massive rollouts will come, and a lot of things will have changed about the 4-year cycle that we're looking at right now. Greg wants to send a super chat, but he doesn't have no more money. Okay, Greg.
You are banned.
Fuck on. Good to see you there, Greg. I think this is going to be different, though. I think that we're going to have a very sharp move to vibe check this 70K zone. I do feel that way, and it's going to look uglier than hell. And maybe we do hold up in the mid 70s from this little pocket right here. But you see this green line? This is my back the truck up line. I think there's going to be a lot of price defense that will hold in this basically $60,000 to $70,000 zone. Absolutely. So that's my signal to myself to hammer in, to add way more to my Bitcoin position. Love you too, Greg. Love you too. But you have to have balls of steel to operate this way, because when things are going to look like that, it's going to look like it's over, right? And everyone's like, why aren't you complaining because the market's pulled back? I only buy like big sums of crypto bags in disgusting amounts of fear. And now, we are in a weird time frame right now because we saw everything happening with the pullback, and oh wait, there's more. Oh, balls.
This is the TA you need today, everybody.
Pretty much. What's going on right now is basically shown with this picture here. Retail investors getting the ability to short sell during extreme fear zones, basically like handing an AK to the chimp, right? Things are going to happen. It's going to go poorly. Bad news now being good news for stocks. U.S. unemployment rate surging to 4.4%. Ooh, that sounds like a great market. Highest in 4 years. Stock market futures surging. Oh, wait, no, they pulled back everything. Reality is the Fed is being forced to cut interest rates. I don't know about this. Like, they keep talking about this, but guess what? Japan's about to raise those treasuries, moving up, right? Japan, we looked at 1.7% yesterday. Like, oh my God, the financial system's broken. Now it's 1.82. This is a very, very bad sign for the largest
you're
holder.
seeing it reflected in poly market as well. This is ticking up to 50%, drop back down to 35%, 60, 64% is now riding on basically no change, but it feels like the market, I don't know. It's hard to predict right now. This is what's really squashing risk. It's hard to predict what the next Trump tweet's going to be. And I don't just mean the tweet. I mean, what economic issue is he going to try and solve? And while it may be a good issue to try and solve, it's jockeying this risk matrix into extreme excitement and then absolute, shuttering the doors to everybody on a daily basis. So people are kind of like, oh, dude, I don't freaking know, man.
Yeah. In where we're at right now, it's in the back end of this title. It's like these altcoins will vanish. I'm going to go through TVLs of things that I think are going to die because there are going to be more bodies floating up to the top of the water. From everything we've seen, you think it can't get any worse, and my vaporware token can't go to zero, can it? You guys would be surprised if this is your first bull market / bear market beginning. Things do die when bear markets take hold. Like, this is something I want people to be very, very cognizant of, because how we protect our capital matters just as much as how we make it. That is something that you protect your money quickly, you make it slowly. And it's not the snapshots that you see on X. It's not the I put $5 in and I got $1 million out type deal. That's not how the world works. U.S. housing market, also 53% of homes have lost their value over the year, the highest share of depreciation in over 13 years. This is a more likely movement to incentivize. But the problem here is, oh, there's the dog cam. The problem with the idea of getting assets in terms of houses to be cheaper on mortgage, you have to have treasury yield go down. Instead, what we see is treasury yield is having to continually increase because of this little problem, partially, that's happening in Japan. Our biggest treasury holder is dumping U.S. treasuries, rising the yield on their treasury, incentivizing people into theirs. And this whole mortgage thing, I don't think mortgages are set up to get better either. And now in the DDoS attack on our senses, now we have the files being scrubbed. Oh no, the whole government is the P word. Whatever shall we do? I think we have an old school solution for this. I know you were a little worried if I was going to show this, Kelly. It's happening right now, and they're cleaning off the files. Everyone's like, oh no, they would never clean off the files. They wouldn't do that. There is an absolute DDoS attack on attention span. Now, on some good fib TA, Kelly, some great fib TA, the most important levels for ETH, according to Crypto Rover, very expensive ETH, expensive, likely bottom zone, highlighting this like $1,600 arbitrary number, unlikely being here in the $600 zone, and extremely unlikely. But one of my favorite TA people came in. So you're telling me that ETH is extremely unlikely to go into the negatives. Perfectly noted. Extremely unlikely zone down in the negative 200.
Oh, that was like the Ondo TA you did.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And, I think ETH has a chance. The hopium here, I told you guys there was some hopium in the background. The Bitcoin dominance graph is puking right now. And this is part of why, select altcoins are actually insulating my portfolio from a lot of this downward pressure. And on the weekly, we are now following the path. I've left this head and shoulders on here for quite some time. We are starting that path down. Now, I think we'll find some fight here at the 57% zone, and at the 55% zone. But I actually could see this continue to go down. I could see this continue to go down. This is a giant head and shoulders pattern. The general, structure of this, I wonder if I could pull this down just a bit. So the general structure of it, if this plays out perfectly, would take us right to that 50% spot. And that would be a very, very good thing for altcoins. Now, when will ETH pick up? I think that there's time for that. ETH has not picked up yet, but they did just cover on the morning show that BlackRock is getting ready to roll out their staked Ethereum ETF. And I do feel that that is going to show some good inflows for that. Now, Morgan Stanley no longer expects the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates in December. And I say good, because every single damn time that we get these interest rate cuts, they dump, right? Our crypto, it dumps after the last interest rate cuts. So I don't think that they're going to save us.
I just got the signal.
You did.
We have to hold until December 31st.
Oh, okay.
December 31st. Whatever 31st is, cool.
This is wonderful. I'm excited for that. Now, I actually have a December Ethereum song that I wrote. Alex Becker's got some balls of steel, buying tons of this because he effing hates himself. Wish me luck. I liked it. You know what? You got to respect the hustle. Also, XRP rolling out their XRP ETF over and under, Kelly. Is anyone going to care about the XRP ETF? Does this matter at all for XRP bag holders?
Well, I mean, here's the deal. Whether or not you like XRP, if these different brokerages and companies and ETFs and major financial giants, the only reason they would be doing something, they do market research, is if they assess that the community, there's enough appetite that's also going to come in, not just from retail degens in crypto, but there's enough awareness around it in people that have been waiting on the sidelines or want to get exposure in indexes and so on and so forth. I do think, I kind of feel as much hate as XRP, even I have given. I feel like there's got to be something else that they're working on delivering that's going to surprise people beyond it just being a financial meme coin, right?
Well, let's go look at the TVL. You know what? Let's go look at the total value locked on XRP. Let's look at what's this forest look like through the trees, folks, right? This is important to do here. Important stuff. XRPL, right? I gotta share my screen again. Whoops. Let's do this. Here we go. There we go. Just a happy little mistake. So
great question, by the way, from Theo Rodriguez says, has any one of the ETFs pushed the price of the tokens up? I mean, look at what ETH did. It's had the hardest year ever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Do you have the ETH chart up?
I think this is a longer term foundational thing of what might happen. So, I mean, that was just a chart that was separate.
Bitcoin pumped like crazy after the ETF went live. Bitcoin did. Yeah.
But no other asset.
Right. Yeah. So this is XRPL, and this, don't get in my chat saying, yeah, this is hate. This is data. Okay. All right. $68 million in total value locked on the XRPL protocol. Now, what's the market cap? Oh, it's a little different. It's $119 billion, right? So we got a little bit of a difference here from a minuscule amount of TVL and an app fee of $1,000. Over 24 hours, they made $1,000 off of app fees. DEX volume, sure, 5.97. Honestly, that's tiny. And the market cap of this project is sitting at $119 billion. There is some serious problems with that. Let's go snooping around some more of those. Let's go look at some projects that might vanish. It's good to say. So we have a $212 million TVL level. It's down 4%. Not horrible, but look at that shit. Look at how much TVL has left the building on Say. This seems like the music has stopped for Say. Where's the market cap at? I haven't even looked at it. We're just raw dogging this because this is stuff I had a bad feeling about, and you guys are discovering crypto with me here. Black hole pays too much in the rewards. Black hole pays way too much in the rewards. Let's see here. So where's Say? It's number 70. All right, it's down 14% on the week, but that's expected. Let's get a bigger picture of this thing. I think most meme coins are going to die too. I think most meme coins are going to die. Look at this. Is Sean Ryan a psyop? I think so. It kind of feels like it. So he was a CIA operative. So there is that. I don't think Say is going to say hello to you anymore. Okay, I think Say is saying goodbye. That's what I think Say is doing right now. Very sad. So there is that. This guy's faking you out. Ryan Rocket, what am I faking out about this data? Explain yourself intelligent to me about what's fake about this. I'm literally showing you money leaving ecosystems. And it takes a lot of, because I could sit here and be like, oh, it's going to be okay. Like this. I see these BS posts. What is this one? From Polygon. This is what drives me insane. India plans to launch ARC, a ruby-pegged dog shit fiat currency into a digital asset built on Polygon. Man, that's really going to pump price. Let's go look at what this did for Polygon. Let's go look. They probably even hide. Oh, let's go look at the TVL. Yeah. All right, so we got 1.1 billion locked. This is the reality, right? This is the reality of the situation at hand. So we get these well-worded bullish posts from Paul, which, by the way, they should have never changed their ticker, their name. This is insane. And this is a project I made a lot of money off of last bull market. Now I can't even pull up the old chart for good old what was Matic, because now it's Paul. Previously, the artist known as Matic. And I don't get long-term price data information out of this. I don't get any long-term price data information. All they do is go down. Let's do a Chainlink. Absolutely. Let's do Chainlink. Because I have a plan on Chainlink. I think it's going to be a victim of downward price action just like the rest. And I have a video that explains what's happening with Swift and Chainlink on Saturday that's coming out tonight on the Discover Crypto channel. But my plan for Chainlink and what I've done so far. So my first set of buys were $1.19 in COVID crash. Second set of buys were $5 in 2023, right? I felt like backing the truck up on the final leg down and then increase the bag exponentially there. Now, where we're at right now, I would be a major buyer of Chainlink at $10. If I can get the price down to these wicks and just take advantage of everyone's weak-handed, limp-wristed bitchness, then I would back the truck up once again on Chainlink. Because overall, what you have here is a series of higher lows being built through its entire existence. It's the only project out there that actually works with the fever dream of Swift and getting part of this new world financial system. You're not going to take over Swift. I'm sorry, XR people. Unless you physically remove central banks in Swift, it is not going anywhere. Okay? Say is pumping. Okay, it's up by 1.6%. All right. All right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. I want to pull up something that actually explains the Chainlink stuff. It's just, there's so much psyopness going on right now, and it's my job to just talk about what's real, and this is what's real. So Swift is no longer going to be in a pilot test program with the cross-chain interoperability protocol. A lot of people are looking at the end of this month for this activation time frame, but this could actually go all the way up until Q1 of 2026. When I look at the market right now, when I see Bitcoin puking its guts out day in and day out, when I see pain across the ecosystem, max fear, max anxiety, like this 15 on the fear and greed, what I'm looking for is a project that's actually going to survive into 2026. Chainlink, with this integration, it's here to stay. So, yeah, I'm a buyer of Chainlink if we can get $10 Chainlink. But these are the things that you must think about. Flare, I don't know if Flare's actually going to die. I don't know if Flare's actually going to die. Cardano. It's going to be scary. Let's just dig in. I'm raw dogging.
Yeah, we're in absolute max washout range right now on everything.
This ain't that bad though. I mean, it's still generally like these are higher lows. These are higher lows. I'd say the music completely stops on Cardano if you break below 20 cents though. The music completely stops on Cardano if you break below 20 cents. And I don't even think the problem with looking at TVL for ADA is that the DeFi Llama system doesn't aggregate the true amount of DeFi that's going on. Let's see if we can actually pull it up. So we got 200 mil as it's registering right now. I don't think that this thing is like set to completely die though, because Cardano is the most decentralized proof of stake system out there. Yes, people don't have like mega big outlooks on it, but you know, y'all sounded bearish. What do you think this is? Like, is this a healthy pullback to you, Ricky? Right? This is why my thesis had to flip to shorting, because I still want more Tether for cheaper Bitcoin. And that's the mindset shift that people need to understand right now. Just because I'm looking at the outlook of getting a cheaper Bitcoin does not make me bearish. In fact, it makes me excited that Max Payne is not up only. Everyone is sitting here trying to top blast these charts and trying to convince me to top blast these charts for the last few months, maybe a year. I remain base. I hold back on them because you know what? I get good entry points at max fear level, right? That is what I do. And we are deep below the 300 SMA right now. And once I see this change, then I'll change. Go ahead, Kelly. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kelly. I had to go off on Ricky. You know, the mindset's so weak.
There's pro traders out there that have made tens of millions of dollars, like Crypto Face, who also is, trying to catch some moves based on signals. And when pro traders are having trouble, you don't stand a chance, especially when it feels a lot more like the market makers are pulling puppet strings and moving things where they want to, regardless of getting a little, you have a hot zone. This is going to give you signal potentially if you're looking at like a 1 hour, 2 hour time frame. But we're seeing the market irrationally just de-risk while we know the liquidity situation coming into 2026. So maybe that's also why. Maybe it's so obvious about the liquidity situation in 2026. It's like, okay, well, let's wreck people now and get the best entries before the market runs away. But the theme of the market right now is lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So plan accordingly.
Yeah. Shout out to Miss Tia made it. She's in here. I got a short amount of time left. If you guys want to be entered in to win a, we're going to be giving away stockings. Okay. We're giving away stockings. She's hand making. They're super sick. We're going to be giving away one stocking to someone that retweets. Miss Tia made it here. So actually let's go to X. I'm going to pull her up because I only got a few more days. I'm going to pick the winner tomorrow. So you got to go to Miss Tia made it at Miss Tia Marie. I'll put it in the chat here for you. And you go here and you repost her. God, she posts a lot. Repost these Bitcoin inspired Christmas stocking designs.
Drop the link in the chat.
Yes, I will. That's a good idea. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Go repost this. You're entered in. There's 50 people that are entered to win. Ooh, there's us. Look at that. There's our Etsy shop. She got an Etsy shop now. Love you, babe. And, I spent some time thanking her for being the profit-taking oracle, right? Now, I'm excellent at getting entry points and being a rude, stubborn prick about getting cheap crypto. Great at it. She amplifies me by making me go all in and then telling me to jeet it at literally somehow the perfect time. So get yourself a wife that knows when to sell all your crypto. Just give some good advice there. Now, we have some other things going on. This is a side note. This is Las Vegas. Formula One races got flooded out. You saw as Mario put this up? It's flooding in Las Vegas.
Told me about it too. He lives there.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it as bad as this video looks? Like, did he say, are the streets all locked up or?
Well, I mean, it's like certain areas. I mean, but it's something that happens regularly in Vegas because when you have a desert landscape, the ground, you'd think would just absorb every bit of water. But the truth is what happens is you get very compact ground. So when you get flash floods. And so every road even has these basically dips at the cross intersections because they're preparing for potential floods to come. So you have so, I mean, it's not like it's something that's super abnormal. It happens, a couple times a year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, also this World Liberty Fire users are now talking about project freezing wallets, enforcing KYC, and moving assets without votes happening on that. This is the games that you get when you're playing with the Trump administration. You know what I mean? He's going to kind of run to his own tune. Now, we got to do some vibe check on the projects that I like. Because you guys know, on the blockchain basement, and for a long time, I've been very, very bullish on base, and the price of the base assets that most of my altcoin plays are in have been really quite nice to insulate me from the downturn so far. I think we have some pretty massive stuff coming for this channel. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too much, but base ecosystem money there, it's been great to me, and it might be, something that we can actually expand upon. Who knows? But check out Morpho and the TVL. These are the types of things that aren't dying. Morpho, even with this sharp pullback, this thing has grown to $6.1 billion in total value locked. Now, I do want to go check out some stuff in terms of lending. So let's look at the top winners here in terms of lending. And Morpho is sitting right below Aave. Aave is at $31 billion in TVL, though. Morpho is starting to climb up that ladder. And you know what? If Morpho keeps climbing the ladder like it is,
it's kind of got that dub from Coinbase as well with their investment in it. It's in the base ecosystem. So it's got a multi-layer reasoning with to be positioned in the future. So that's a great reminder, by the way, Drew, as well. We've seen over the last 10 years I've been in, the leaderboard, let's say even the top 50 has changed so dramatically every year. And so even right now, Aave, I think Aave is going to do exceptionally well. When you look at other coins, whether it's Avalanche or just name the coin, doesn't matter. We are still so early in this ecosystem. There is not a clear winner. The only clear winner right now in crypto is Bitcoin in terms of its positioning, what it does. Every other altcoin stands to be dethroned, to be stepped over. There's going to be a lot of movement. So although Aave is so dominant over Morpho, it doesn't mean that Morpho couldn't go out there and try to have its own flippening as well,
Yeah, absolutely. The portfolio, like Linnea's trying to hold on for its life. Jito going to extreme lows here. Solana at 132, Chainlink. I mean, the brutality is real. Thankfully, most of my actions in Bitcoin, Aerodrome, Morpho, and Chainlink. I am thankful for that. And I think Chainlink, Aerodrome, and Morpho have the ability to exist and thrive into the next year and beyond that. So when we're thinking about, oh my God, do we go buy the all-time lows of this meme coin, or do we buy the all-time lows of that vaporware? Just take a breath. Okay, just take a breath. Sometimes you really, really need to just focus on making money slowly and protecting it quickly. I'm going to say that over and over again because I feel full-heartedly about that. We are in untreaded waters. Kelly said it yesterday, I think. All models are broken. All models are broken. So let me unmute you here real quick.
Sorry about that. David Goxton also put it best. He said, honestly, I feel like some of you want generational wealth with lottery ticket habits. People forget 1-2% moves, whether it's DeFi, crypto, or airdrops, and what they're teaching about utilizing DeFi, allowing yourself to not only swing at 77x on your entire portfolio, you end up losing. The people that are making it are buying smart, being patient, and when they do take trades, they're stacking 2%, 8%, sometimes 17%, 15%, 6%. It's these small things compounding over time. So we need to get out of the lottery ticket habit mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice. I did see one thing though, Kelly, that makes me very, very intrigued by the meme coin space. There's one meme coin that I'd say is intriguing. It's Giga. They are rolling out protein, pre-workout, super greens, supplements, a supplement line that is with Giga, the token. This is a token. And look, they got electrolyte powder. They're actually going to be selling these things in a Walmart. So now I got to go look at Giga Chad. Okay. I do got to go look at Giga Chad because this is intriguing. I'm going to buy it. First of all, I'm going to buy oh my God, look at it. It runs a real product. This thing looks dead, but I could do 0.5%. I could do 0.5%. I could take 0.5% swing at this. This is given Pudgy Penguin vibes. If you get your product in Walmart and you have a real revenue model, even if you are a retarded meme, if you have a revenue model, and Giga is far from a retarded meme. I mean, this is one of the best memes out there. The Giga phase. You know what I mean? So it's got staying power. Let's see here. So disheartening. Don't be disheartened. Justin Wilson. This is the time where we must change our thesis, right? I don't own any Giga Chad yet, but I'm thinking about buying it. John Wick. Jesus. I'm thinking about buying it. Trying to bum out because I cover crypto. I swear I'm going to deport. I can't wait till we're out of jail on YouTube. I am going to deport so many people. It's going to be huge. Like I have so many deportations on our mind right now. What is this that we got here? Trust the
Just
patience.
a reminder, everybody, it's all about patience. And anything in life you're trying to strive for, a relationship, health, working out, portfolio, patience is absolutely key. If you don't have patience that you can trust, practice it. You have to be consistent. You have to have consistency you have to have action and consistency. If you don't have that, what are you expecting to happen if you don't have action and consistency? Start somewhere and then practice consistency in it. Trust in faith. Don't have it? Find God, whatever God is to you. Okay? And nothing happens without action, patience, consistency, and faith, especially in the ability to maintain some sort of action flow over a period of time.
Yeah. And I will say, just because you have a wrench doesn't mean that you can't catch.
You are banned!
Zach Nasty. Okay. I see you. I have to ban him whenever I see his moment there. It's a time to reflect. Did you fall for things that maybe were just complete vaporware? Did you not look at the TVL? These are learning lessons. And I know I've been kind of a jerk for a long time about a lot of different projects and people get mad at me, but who's laughing now, right? I mean, when the music stops, the bodies start flowing up, and you really have to make sure that you are not over allocating yourself into things that have zero revenue and zero reason to exist. That is a very, very important thing. And, Kelly, can we look at some charts here? Do you got some charts you want to look at? Because is there anything? Because I've given my thesis on where things go from here. I think I've said on my soapbox enough. People get my thesis. I will say before Kelly takes over the charts, get in the Discord. If you want to try to print some tether on the way down, get in the Discord. We printed again this morning. But what you got there, brother?
Oh, I just wanted to show, everybody's looking at what's going on in the market. We've lost this lower deviation. I'm watching for hopefully a bounce at some point, right? It doesn't go just straight down. So I'd be watching in this $82,000 to $84,000 range. If we lose that, then this is that clear range that you talked about, back down to that green line in the sand that you had is roughly, it's a pretty major line. If we lose that, it's like, I don't want to say all over in the near term, but it means things are really bad. But at some point, this has to have some sort of bounce. Maybe it gets rejected and gets much worse, or we get that V-shaped correction like we did here, like we very widely did here.
Mm-hmm.
But as it stands right now, it's not even worth looking. Okay, Ethereum, losing. Ethereum to Bitcoin actually holding decently. The Bitcoin dominance. Somehow, this is the most confounding thing ever.
Yes.
Somehow,
yes,
that the Bitcoin dominance is falling, meaning alts are actually holding up a little bit.
Mm.
But if the sentiment truly does evaporate, then you're going to see this skyrocket, because that means your alts they got bricks tied to their ankles and they're getting thrown in Lake Mead, and ain't nobody ever going to find them.
Well, and then another part of this is probably the stable coins, right? We've seen lots and lots of stable coins being printed.
Here's dominance without tether.
Yeah, falling off a cliff. Absolutely falling off a cliff. Stable coins being issued is going to skew the metrics. A lot of people are like, where's alt season? It's a stable coin super cycle. But the crazy part about this, I think we need to examine Circle. We took a look at it this morning. There are a lot of stable coins being printed.
Welcome to a Jet2 holiday. There are round trip tickets here for Circle. The hottest narrative in crypto goes up and it comes down to land.
Like Circle feels like still, even looking at this chart, I feel like Circle is going to be what they call the CBDC in like 5 or 10 years. Is this a buy? Does it go to zero? Like,
I mean, it's basically, it's probably, if I had to guess, this is going to go below its listing price, which was 63.60, about that area. Where's the low? I can't see L. No way, it's 76. That's no way. Hold on, let me see right here. I'm looking right here on the OHLC. L is low. $64 was the listing. It's $2 above listing, and people bought here thinking, I don't want this to run away. What happened? Any possible profits in the near term ran away as this came back to land in Haiti.
Dude, like, I mean, this is absolutely insane to see. And like, I feel like Circle is an immovable object. It makes me want to buy a little bit of this. It really does.
We did half the Circle. We did this whole half. Are we going to do this?
That's what they meant by Circle this whole time. Oh,
how many profits are you going to have?
Circle. Guys, just, you know, if these charts are causing you a lot of Zeke is going to crash. I mean, I understand it's got fundamentals, but everyone's like, oh, okay, we're gonna full port our altcoins that are down into a Zeke bag that is at extreme all-time highs. How do you think that is going to play out? Right? Please stop getting hurt in front of these moving trains. Everyone's like, oh, remember, these guys are wrong. I want so badly to be out of YouTube jail for the deportations, Kelly. I can't get over it. So it's coming. I think we got 15 more days in jail. You'll get yours.
Isn't it like 12 or something? Because I remember last week it was 14.
It's like, yeah, I think we're coming down. But I will say for Zeke, what I do like about it is a little bit of hardened infrastructure to combat potential quantum computing risks that would be coming for a lot of different altcoins, potentially even old school Bitcoin wallets. So Zeke is something I'm not going to chase. I like Jason's message there in the chat. Do not chase. Do not buy all-time highs for any coin. Very sound advice. Very based individual you are. But it's something I'd add to the portfolio with a substantial pullback happening. At this point right now, I'm not going to buy it. But I think that the quantum computing aspects that are coming down the line need to be taken seriously. There are old Bitcoin bags with risks should quantum computing be used to take on. And just low key, I think North Korea is working with China, and they are working on cracking those old school wallets that got left behind actively right now. And they might have already done it. That might be playing into why we see this major pullback. Aerodrome being one that lasts, I do feel like that as well. I do feel like Aerodrome is around and here to stay. It's about power structures. I think Coinbase is going to be the United States crypto power play, and a lot of that action is going to be moved into the base ecosystem. Aerodrome being a key infrastructure piece of that, Morpho another major key of that. So it's not about TA for me right now. It's about migration. It's about where are the birds flying? Where's the money going to flow? And that's how I look at things. So TF is going on. What's up, Alexander? How do I feel about well? I got out of it at 3. Okay, so here's my process. I got into Moonwell at 6 cents. Price structure fell apart. I got out at 5 cents. Waited for some pullback, some hope. Fell down to 3 cents. I was like, okay, I'm going to get in at 3 cents. Fell below that. Went to like 2.50. I got out again, and now it's sub 1 cent. So, you know, that's one that was super aggravating, really confusing how they were able to get a banking routing number and a bank account information connected to that. But you know what? I'm not interested. Like now, I think Mamo might be of interest because it's a DeFi AI agent, but in this environment, it's probably getting absolutely bludgeoned. Let's go look at Mamo. In this environment, Mamo is probably Memo this point. Oh God.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's moo.
That's oh
Piggy, piggy,
Lord.
piggy, piggy.
Look, it's below release point. Right. I mean, this is Thunderdome, right? So if you have a mind's eye to look at these types of things, just approach them with a very, very small percentage. Clanker is an interesting one. Let's go look at Clanker. I've been meaning to God, I don't know if this is the right one. You're gonna have to send me. I don't want to pull up the wrong Clanker and then give some weird community a bunch of hope and then they clip me. Plume I got out of too. I had to insulate. I told you guys I was insulating a while ago. I got out of it. I'm like, it keeps climbing. Oh my God, 2.4 cents. Jesus, Murphy, Mary, and Joseph. Maybe that's why I have a smile on my face, is because I left before the true doomsday came. Jesus, Murphy, Mary, and Joseph.
You know what happened, Drew?
What's that?
All the profits got deported.
That's true. That's what it looks like.
We gotta. I don't want to say risk off, but you need to be very smart about what you're doing right now. There's risk, and it's not just Bitcoin. We're seeing it across the market. There's something funky going on. We do see a reverse repo market kind of at a baseline low, which does suggest that there's going to be some sort of influx of capital there. The Treasury General account is starting to roll over a touch, but it's still got like $920 billion in it. I think we're waiting a little bit on what happens December 10th, and then December 10th into, remember, tax season. We don't do our taxes, but big corporations and tax shuffling that people also do coming into the end of the year. And then we have that can that was only kicked 2 months regarding the government shutdown is then at the end of January. So I think we're in this sort of purgatory of real risk coming into the market. But I'm still a bruised bull, but I'm still a bull on 2026. In fact, it makes me more bullish that we're seeing price action like this to the downside. That Wall Street's here, institutional games are afoot, and they know how to shake these markets out. And I have people that are industry insiders that are texting me, and they're like, "Dude, what in the actual like?" So it's not you out there, everybody watching. Everybody's feeling this way. That's not the guy that's actually putting the orders in the order book from BlackRock, okay, or Wintermute. So you're not wrong to feel that way. But remember, there's things outside of these charts. But we're here on a daily basis for you. That's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, we're going to be here to stay. I do see questions about Solana. Solana's here to stay too, you guys. Like, I'm checking out TVL, hasn't had a massive pullback. They're about to do the stake ETF action on there. AI agent activity is still staying strong. Solana has many different angles of success on top of the meme coins, right? That's just the scratching of the surface. But just remain calm, right? It's going to be okay. Everything is going to be fine. You just have to kind of change and mold with how this environment is. Right now, there is headwinds. There is concern. Also, make sure you guys are tuning into Kelly tonight. Kelly, you're doing a Spaces right now with Bitcoin IRA tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, well, it's sponsored by Bitcoin IRA, but I can't pull up the screen for some reason. There we go. It's going to be through the Discover account. I'll be hosting it. Chris Klein, Senator Klein is Chris Klein, founder of Bitcoin IRA. But then we also have the Real Plan C, who's been really breaking down some great data on chain and what's going on. David Gokhshtein, massive powerhouse, understanding what's going on in the market, both Bitcoin and the broader market. Antoine RSX, also great analyst. Chris Terry, Samuel Oil. We got some really great guests. And last week we had Grant Cardone popped in. We had Dave Weisberger. These are growing and they're great spaces. A lot of alpha about what's going on in the market, not just TA and squiggles on charts, but actual real data and great conversation. That's at 5:30 p.m. tonight. I dropped the link there in the live chat. You can see it. It's also on my page right here at Kelly Kellum. You can find me there. But yeah, tune in tonight. We'll rally together. We can quell our fears with some data.
Absolutely. Someone's asking, what do I think of Aster? Well, Prime pays, right? Now we have market regulation coming to be voted on. They're really not going to be doing any hard-sided you are in trouble and you are in trouble. None of that's going on. They're basically just organizing who's going to be regulating what here in the United States. Finance kind of out of the bag of our peer review and abilities from what it looks like. And CZ just got a pardon, right? So Aster, not so interested. I am farming on other decentralized exchanges. There's another one, VDEX, I like using. I know DZ's on EdgeX, and we've been messing around with EdgeX, a bunch of them. But I think Aster, you know, it's already had its run up. I'm not going to feel like I'm getting in early by going in there and trying to farm on there. But I love you guys. I really, really think it's going to be okay as long as you're not over allocating yourself into vaporware right now. Do not revenge trade. Get in our Discord, learn how to do DeFi, and use crypto. Put your crypto to work. It's going to be just fine. So stay focused, stay based. Do not lose your head in this environment. This is where we can find absolutely disgusting entry points over the next few months as this market, if it continues to draw down and we go into the guts of that $60,000-$70,000, imagine how cheap good projects are going to be at that time frame. Take a breath. I love and appreciate every single one of you, and print some money with us. The Discord is printing. For God's sakes, take advantage of this. I love you guys, and we will see you on the next episode. Till next time, take care.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the